Good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt over at MilestoneCapitalGrowthPortfolio.com. Today's Wednesday, February 4th. So let's take a look at the USO trade. So we all know oil has been just getting crushed. I mean, if you look at the monthly here on oil, you could see, you know, let's get rid of this because that's not a gap, and I'll show you why I have that there first in a minute. But you can see here how it's just been pummeled for quite some time now, and it's in this beautiful downtrend pattern, and the pattern is pretty defining on which way it's going to go. Hold on, let me just draw this over here. We'll catch the top of all those, so you could see we're pretty much just in this downtrend. But a couple of things that you want to take note of. What we want to do is show you pretty much how we do a swing trade on options, and we're going to use this one as an example, and this is for live in the chat room. So we made 500 and so far, actually 560% so far on USO, and we're not done yet, and that's just in 4 days, and that's just on options. Okay, we do this with a lot of stocks if you're in the live chat room with us, and I'll explain this process to you in just a second. So you can see how USO is just, on the monthly frame, was just consolidating for the longest time. Okay, I talk about these box breaks all the time. Okay, and these are consolidation boxes. So, oil was definitely, it ripped up to the upside. 120 came all the way down here in '09. It bottomed out. Okay, it just completely bottomed out. And then what I did is just started tracking, basically its moves, and seeing what it was doing. And you can see the general trend. If I move that consolidation box out of here, you can see the general trend, what was happening to oil from this candle here, okay? It wasn't to the upside, it was to the downside. So if you're following the top of the candles, you can see it was slowly. So it gets to a point where something happens, and it's going to have support and bounce in and out outside of this box. I mean, on the inside from the bottom to the top and so on and so forth, while it's in this consolidation period until it breaks one way or the other. And you can see what happens when it breaks one way or the other. If this was to the upside, it would have been green candles, but you notice that it's down to the downside. So there are some key technical points where you needed to be into this to really monetize this trade to the downside. And you can see here you're just getting ready to cross to the downside pretty violently. You were at the bottom of the box already, and then it just took off. So managing your charts are very important, but you got to have these prices set up, and that's what we do. We have them set up. So you can see here on this box break, it was just pounded to the downside. Okay, and now bringing this into the weekly, you can see relative strength index was right around 65, 66, a little overbought at that point. So, and this is a weekly chart now, just to let you know. So you can see it from here. It just kept continuing to the downside, but we traded it to the downside. We said where it was going to go, and we made some great money on that. But I mean, we're going to get into a swing trade in just a second here. So you can see all these buying candles, and nothing's taken place. Okay, absolutely nothing has taken place. And your relative strength index came all the way down to 17 on the weekly. So it was really last week, it was time for this to get, it was very oversold, time to get a bounce. Okay, so when that double bottom came in at 1693, it was a very easy trigger. Okay, so we'll bring it down to the daily now so you could see that. So now that we're down at the daily, you could see where your triple bottom came into play. Okay, and that was our trigger to purchase calls. But we wanted to make sure we got a perfect entry. Okay, and we rode it through the middle Bollinger Band break. We got 275% to the upside, and now from the exit call yesterday, we got into the puts, and the puts started working very well also. Okay, because it wasn't enough power to the upside to continue with this. So to get your perfect entry, we use the hourly. Okay, so you can see the hourly here. It is right here. All right, and you were all ready to go. Your stochastics was ready, your relative strength index was ready. Here's an easy trade for you folks. Okay, so when you're scalping something like this, the easiest thing to notice is these little openings right here. Okay, if you are unsure of the middle Bollinger Band, you use your gap. If it's going through the gap at 1822, then you know it's going to go higher. Okay, and that, reference that on your daily. So when we called the exit, I called the exit when our relative strength index was up here at 80, okay, and you had the double top and that hammer was created. That was a perfect time to get an exit and switch into puts, okay. So we monetized this all the way to the upside. You could see where your stochastics was getting ready to cross to the downside, so it was an easy exit call for the calls. and an easy call for the downside. And you can see what happened today. It just took a beating today, and those ended up 200 and something percent. So, it bottomed out right here and met up with the 200-day moving average on a little bit of a bounce, but it really didn't have anything left in it. But you can see stochastics getting ready to cross to the upside. You got a little bit going on here with your relative strength index, but I don't think this one's done. I think it's going to come down a little bit lower to the 1775. But anyway, in order to maximize these trades and trading styles, and whether you're doing stock or option, it doesn't matter. You can really maximize a trade by breaking it down to the 16-minute chart. And through some of our technical analysis, I think it really benefits the chat room with over 150 people in there to make money. And when we do earnings, we go over the technical charts of all earnings at night prior to in the afternoon prior to earnings coming out, and that's working out very well. Some people are hitting some very large wins. So we think it's very important that you understand all time frames and how to trade these things just to maximize the money on them. So if we can get a full reversal in this, okay, what's going to happen is we'll shoot back on the daily. But for now, if this holds and really starts to move forward, you can see your indicators are slowly starting to turn a little bit to the upside, okay? And if you look over here, the real nice target would be here about 27.28 before we pulled back down again. But we could get a $10 move to the upside, but we need confirmation for that, not just a 60-minute day trade for that, okay? So you swing it back to your daily, and what are you looking for that to take place? You're looking for some aggressive volume and for this to continue to the upside. So your middle Bollinger Band really has to hold here at 1785. If it doesn't hold, then understand that this is going to go lower. If it does hold, then we can accumulate for quite some time before moving higher. Okay, so it could be just flat, but this has been pretty lucrative now, and there's a lot of shares starting to get traded. So this is definitely good for some trading. Where you're working, 17 to 18, it's really not that fun unless you're riding this all the way down. But when you get moves like this, then it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so listen, you're not a member. Make sure you become a member. It'll be well worth it. You'll make your money in a day or two. We're doing a special right now for 1 year. You buy a 6-month membership and you get an entire year free. And that includes the entire website. So everything we have to offer on the website, which is tons and tons of stuff. So just click on the link on the video if you're on YouTube, and if you're not on YouTube and you're on our website, just click on the link underneath this video. All right, this is Matt. We'll see you tomorrow in the live chat room because we are going to make some huge money. Remember, Zillow made us 300% yesterday, and about 10 other stocks are making us huge money. So listen, it's well worth your while. We'll see you there.